Welcome back everyone to our gameplay series of Farming Simulator 17. So I'm extremely excited about today's video, and the reason for that is, as you know, we have been working with a little bit of wheat, and also we've been getting our grass to silage operation up and going. And actually we are following along right now with our silage wagon as it goes to deliver a load of 8,000 liters of silage here to the barn. Well, I'm extremely excited because we're going to have a way to kick this into high gear today. So right now, let me go ahead and click off of that. You know, we've been working with the baseline equipment. We've got our baseline mower, just using the front mower, and then we've been using the basic loading wagon as well. And that absolutely works great. It's something I've done for, well, I did it a ton in Farming Sim 15 and have started doing it quite a bit here as well. But then something, as I was looking around through the mods, changed my mind completely and immediately told me that that's where we needed to go with this. We need to kick our silage operation into high gear, and this is just the way to do it. So in order to find out what that is, let's come into the store and we're going to go into the mowers. And of course you can see the normal ones until I get to the end. And lo and behold, we have the King Daddy, the Krone Big M500 2017E. Now this thing is a monster. It is $289,000, but let's take a look at what it can do. It has a full 13.2 meter working width. It can operate at 14 miles an hour, which is huge, by the way, because that enables you, not only can you go ahead and cut a huge area of grass, but then you can also go pretty fast doing it. So this thing's got 520 horsepower, and basically it does everything that you could imagine plus 10. Okay, this thing is awesome, and this is exactly what we need in order to kick our production up to the next level. Now with that, what I think we're going to be able to do is, currently we are working with this one tractor slash mower combination on one field. And then if we come into to view our mini map a little more, you can see we got field 14 that is sitting over here ready to be cut, but we don't have any way to do it. So we don't really have enough equipment to get started on that particular field right now. We've been trying to save up some money. Well, we're going to kick that into high gear. And the way we're going to do that is something that I haven't done a whole lot and generally don't do a lot in this game, is we're going to take out a loan, and that loan is going to enable us to go ahead and buy what we need, or at least most of what we need. All right, so let's go ahead and come in under, oops, not the store. We want to come in under the map, and let's just move over a little bit. Now, we can't borrow anything here. Okay, we can repay something if we wanted to here, but we can't really borrow anything. You can see we got $150,000 right now, as well as that $50,000 loan that we started off the game with. But what we're going to do is press the end button. That gets us into that credit union mod that we've talked about before. We're going to go into edit the mod, and we're going to get a loan value of $300,000. Now I'm not going to worry too much about the terms in this case. It's 12 days. Loan fees, $3,000, and so on. But the reason I'm not going to worry too much about that is I think this is going to enable us to work all three of the fields, 12, 14, and 15, with that one mower. And then that's going to allow us to really be able to get a lot more production done on a daily basis. And of course, that's going to mean more money, and we'll get this loan paid off pretty quickly, I believe. So let's go ahead and let's see, edit the loan, take out the loan. Yes, please. So that amount has been borrowed. You can see in the top right hand corner, $397, almost $400,000. Excellent. That is exactly what I want. Let's go in now to the mowers. Let's hit select on that. What kind of color do we want to go with? Well, I want to go with this brighter blue. I think it's where I want to go. So many good options. I mean, you could always go bright red, all sorts of stuff. We're going to go blue, And 289,500. Yes, please. That is exactly what I want. Let's back our way out of the menu. And then we're going to tab our way over. And I need to get this thing back to the farm now, but I don't really want to drive it there myself because I want to take a look and see what else we've got going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up our course play course that has, there we go. That should be pretty good. Let's load this and actually use the first, and let's see if it gets going the way we need it to. Let's go maximum speed, and we're going to tone that down a little bit just for some of the crazy ways they take curves, and slow them down a little bit. Okay, looks like he is off and running. Hopefully he doesn't get hung up on anything. If he does, then that's something that we're going to have to deal with. Now, this is going to be perfect timing here because, of course, we have been, up until this point, we have been planting some wheat here. Well, no longer. We're actually going to plant grass here now because with this new mower, this huge mower with a 13-meter wingspan, we're going to be able to use grass on all three of these fields, and really we're going to be in great shape moving forward. Okay, let's get this guy out of the way now that he is finished up. There's our nice looking grass field there. It's just waiting. Let's see. Oops, I almost pulled it in there the wrong direction. Forgot that I was going to have to swap out with the same mower. Alright, there we go. Let's try to get in here a little bit closer. I can hardly see anything here. But we need to get in here and see. Let's see. There we go. Just waiting to find that attach. Alright, so now we are in great shape. You can see in the bottom right hand corner the seed that we are using is already grass, and if you ever have any wonders about whether that's grass or not, or exactly what it is, you can always come back into this screen where the map is, and you can see exactly what that picture is indicating. So as soon as I saw that mod, and I really wasn't even looking for anything like that, I was looking for some different maps that we could move to in the future and have some fun with, but I saw that, and there is one key that we haven't talked about yet with regards to this piece of equipment that is absolutely huge, and the reason why I got it. So it's not just about, for me, it's not just about the fact that it has a 13-meter working width. It's not really about that, because we could have somewhere around 8 or 9 meter of working width using the existing mowers that come with the game by using a combination of the mower attachment to the front as well as the mower attachments to the back, which flare out to the sides. All right, let's go ahead. He has gotten here, so we can let him stop on that particular one. Now we're going to head over here to field 14. All right, now here's where the fun begins. Let's get this guy's, let's go under field 14, the Krone mower, 13-meter working width. And right here, let's see, what are we looking at? Yeah, beginning and end is what I'm looking for. Let's get him all lined up, and we're going to turn him loose. All right, maybe. Oops, I believe I know what I just did. Yes, I forgot to change him over to field. So if you ever have any issues with course play, a lot of times, if you're like me, it's simply because you forgot to swap over the type of work that you're going to be doing. And now this guy is all confused about where he's supposed to be going. He's doing field work here, so please come back and do field work. Maybe. Alright, just to make sure, since I messed it up the first time around. Alright, this is field 14. We're going to pull up this particular one. There we go. And now we're on field work. First waypoint, please drive it correctly. And there we go. Okay. So my exuberance got the best of me, but we are getting things sorted out now. You can see as he unfolds, he's got the mower on the front, which we're used to, mower on the sides, in the rear, which is also something that if you're familiar with the game, you've seen before. But here is the difference. Look right in the center. You see the grass pouring out of each of these side mowers. So what's happening here is that this guy, the front mower, is of course mowing. The grass is coming right down the center. And then these mowers on the side are actually mowing, but the grass is being shuttled into the center area. So this guy is actually windrowing the grass as he's cutting it. Now that is huge, and the reason it's huge is because now it means that we can simply send our loading wagon down one section. He doesn't have to go down each and every 3-meter section of the field. He can simply travel right down this one section and he will get everything that he needs. Now I did lower, it's about what, 13.2 meters I think is what it actually says for working width. I narrowed that down to 13 meters on here because we're gonna have some overlap that you're gonna see on the sides as we go down through here, and that is perfectly fine because this guy is going so quickly. In fact, you can see just how quickly he's making work of this field. You notice just how few times it's going to take him to work this entire field. This is going to be huge for us going forward. Now, another decision we're going to have is, and that is just beautiful, seeing that. Now, some of you may say that this looks familiar. In fact, some of you, or maybe a lot of you, are already using this thing. I had forgotten about it. If I remember correctly, this machine was actually available in Farming Simulator 2013, or Farming Simulator 13. I believe is where this one originally came from, and it's been moved forward as a mod ever since then, I believe is how it's worked. But I had actually forgotten that this thing existed, so when I saw it, I was plenty excited. All right, so let's move back over. Now we've got planting going on in this field. All right, I'm actually going to... All right, let's go ahead and stop this guy. And I'm going to let him stop the work he's doing over here on this field because there's something I want to do real quick. Let's go ahead and move over. We no longer need that mower. Okay, that mower is no longer needed because now all we need this thing to do is use the loading wagon. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy loaded up. Course play. So we have no courses. Right now you have to always make sure that you remove the previous courses, which I'm bad about not doing. Alright, we need to load up the mowing and then unload the grass, which if I turn on the preview, you can see unloading the grass will take us from basically where we are, head that way, and then around to where we unload, and then roundabout back onto the field. So that's how that's going to work. We hope anyway. Alright, so we are on field work. Let's do first waypoint and let's get this guy started. And now, again, the beauty of this is why I was so excited. Now look, with these windrow rows, now all he has to do is head down into that. Not every 3 meters on the field, but every 13 meters on the field. So all of that is going to combine to really, really allow us to quickly get through all of this. Let's bring our map back up. And let's see, let's get everything unchecked except grass. You can see where we are on field 12. Field 15 is now being sown. So everything is good there. And let's see, where is our mower? I'm imagining he is about done. You can see we're already done with one row here. Now something I'm going to do going forward is I will very quickly want to increase the capacity of this loading wagon now. We're going to need to do that. It's at 21,300, 21,500, somewhere along in there. Yeah, there we go. There's our notification that our mower is done. So that took practically no time. You can see I have ramped things up to 60 times speed. And that is so we can get some more grass growing along the way, so we will be ready to work these other fields. All right, so yeah, 21,300 on this particular model. We're going to want to increase that, and I will probably go, let's see, let's get the loading wagons here. So this is the one we have now, 21,300. I will probably go with this particular model, 34,000, probably. I mean, obviously there are models that can handle more, but we get into needing to replace tractors for this. In this case, we need 120 horsepower for this one that we're using, and this is on our blue tractor. And oops, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go into the store. All right, so the blue tractor, 125. So 125 horsepower. It can handle that particular model that we were just looking at. And let's see, if we wanted to go higher, say 200 and then 220. Yeah, we don't have anything along those lines right now, but that's perfectly fine. We've got $124,000. That's going to quickly change. Now, let me point out that we could use this one for as long as we wanted to use it. The only downside is the fact that we're going to have to spend more time doing what we just did, which is driving over and unloading. Other than that, we are perfectly fine to use it for the foreseeable future. There's absolutely no problem with it, but I'm going to drive right over these nice windrows since it makes no difference in the game right now. All right, we're going to park this bad boy right back over here. We're not quite ready, of course, to do any work on it just yet, because if we look, you can see we've still got about half the field, it appears, that is still in the purple. That is no good. That means harvested. So we don't want that. Okay, now, one thing that means for us is that we can now get rid of this bad boy. By the time we're ready to move on and further expand our operation, we're going to be getting one that's going to be better than this. So now, let's go ahead and pull up the store, go into our garage. Let's click here. We're going to get a little over 30,000 for it. And yes, please. And of course, that means we need to sell the header as well. Okay, and then along the way, if we take a quick look here, all right, now that we see what we've actually got in storage, that means we're going to have a cultivator and of course a seeder in storage along with a tractor to operate it. All right, you can see here on field 15 as we move over to the seeder that we've already got grass starting to come in. Very early stages. It'll take a little while before we're able to do anything with that. But coming over to our tipper. Now our tipper right now can only handle 8,000. 8,000 liters is not very much. Going forward, we're going to need to upgrade this thing. 8,000 is not going to be enough. In fact, let's hop back in as this guy's getting ready to take off. Let's head back into the store and let's look at some other tippers. So this is the model we're using right now. Okay, 8,000 liters. And really don't want to go here because that's 8,500. That's no good. We don't want that. We could go up to 15,000 with this model, but I really don't want to do that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more here in just a second. The model I'm interested in is this one. It's 21,000, so that's obviously, that's nearly 3 times the capacity with what we're dealing with now, which is the same capacity as this one. The reason I want to go with this model is because of that weird angle that we're forced to take with the silage silo. The silage silo is, because it doesn't have the input and the output on opposite sides, we're forced to sort of make that jump. We're forced to basically climb up and over. And when we climb up and over, I am worried that this is going to hang. This part that you see on all these different models, I'm worried that it's going to hang. And you notice that here, of course, we just have the 4 tires spread out, and it can carry its own weight and balance under its own weight. We don't have anything hanging down. And now we're coming up to the part I'm talking about. And of course, if you've been watching the previous episode right there, when we come up and over, I want to make sure we don't have anything that hangs there. It's already messing us up enough as it is to have to go up and over. I want to make sure that nothing gets hung on that, because the whole point of doing this and using course play and all of that is that we don't have to worry about those things. It's as close to automatic as we can get it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, we're getting very close right there. Same thing actually with 14. We're getting there. So it looks like at least half, if not more, of field 12 is going to be ready to go. All right, let's head back over. And again, when you're running at 60 times the speed, which is what we are right now, again, we won't always be running at this speed, but for now we are. As we continue to expand, we'll be slowing time down quite a bit, I would imagine. All right, yeah, you can see that at least half, if not more, of the field is ready to go. Just that part right toward the end before I stopped our mower on it. But already you can tell, I mean, this is so much quicker. Let's go back. In fact, let's adjust the speeds a little bit. Right now he's only, let's let him go backwards at 6 miles an hour and turn a little bit faster as well. Again, for the most part, he's just turning on the field, so there's not really anything he's going to hit. And we still have him activated as turning on the field, so he's not really going beyond that very much. Just enough, basically, to get the loading wagon out. Okay, so our money is definitely headed up. All right, let me hop out right here because we got one more thing that we need to sell, and that's our mower that I dropped off a few minutes ago. There we go. So we need to sell that. And yes, we want to sell that. And actually, while I'm in here, this particular shelter right here just gets on my nerves. To me, it's just in the way where it's at. So I'm going to go ahead and actually sell this thing. Not for the money, but because I really want to get rid of it. So now if we look over, it's the one that was right over there and was really getting on my nerves because we had to always make a quick turn to get around it. So if we get to a point in the future where we start needing to use our silo, this is really going to help us out. So now this is going to put us up very close to $200,000. And that's exactly what we want. Again, we're keeping this guy busy. They are on the road pretty much constantly. As soon as he gets back, because of the small amount of capacity that he can carry, pretty much as soon as he gets back, he's ready to receive another 8,000 liters, which is kind of rough for him because it would be nice if we had a bigger capacity, although we'll have to keep a check on that going forward, because as we pull up and we look at all of our fields here, one of the things that, of course, I would like to do is start to pick off some of these fields that are nearby. Now, all of these are very expensive, so we're going to have to save up our money, and then, or of course, take out a loan like we did this time, you know, that kind of thing. But as we pick these up, we're going to have to decide, what are we actually going to use these for? Are we going to continue with our silage operation? Or are we going to get into wheat? Or are we going to get into sunflowers? I mean, you name it. It's all sorts of things that we could possibly do here. But we'll make those decisions in the future. What I am tempted to do, as I've mentioned before, is that I will probably break the map into parts. And what I may do is say, okay, everything in here is going to be one section. And then we'll do everything we can there. And if I turn these back on, you can see that right over here is where we've got our wool production. That's where our sheep are. So what I may do is say, okay, field 11 and 18 are for grass production for sheep. Right here in the center, all of these fields are for grass production, which will be turned into silage and sold here at the barn. And then what we may do is go up a little further. We got our pigs up here. I'm really interested to get into the cows and so on. So I may say, okay, we're going to use these fields down here and possibly this one as well for either grass, straw, silage, you name it, something along those lines related to the cows. And then with the other fields here on the map, we might use for something else. Who knows what I might decide to do with it, but what I do know is that we're going to have a lot of fun with it, and we're going to make a whole lot of money doing it, most likely. All right, let's see. Looks like we got a great opportunity for some guys to run together here. Let's hope we don't do that. Fortunately, these two coming at it now are going to different spots. There we go. Let's go ahead and pop out because I want to see exactly what we're dealing with. Okay, so we had no grass in there. So now this load of grass is going to be quickly converted over. But what we've got is a lot of silage. We've got 30,000 in silage. And of course that number is only going to continue to grow while it converts this grass in. All right, so we're going to stick with this for now, but as I talked about, I'm going to be looking to replace this particular loading wagon as well as the tipper that we're currently using at some point in the future. And definitely before we leave this area and expand out to other areas and focus on those moving forward. But for right now, things are looking really good. Okay, field 12 is ready. Actually, field 14 is ready once again also. Wow. All right, let's see, what are we looking at for field 15? Okay, he's still working on that. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Move on to field 12. Load up that. You can see right now all I'm showing is sort of the first and last waypoints. Really don't need the last ones all that much, but they're on by default, so I've left them on. Okay, field work. Go ahead and drive that course. And so this one will take him, it seems like just a matter of a couple of minutes is really all he needs. Okay, now we are done planting. Excellent. So we're going to be done with this particular cultivator and planter for a little while. In fact, by the time we're ready to use them again, we might be trading them in for a better model, one with better working width and a more powerful tractor. We'll have to see how that goes, but I'm looking forward to doing just that. We're now at 214,000. Okay, and once again, just as soon as he can get loaded up, he's off and running. So he's in pretty much a continuous circle at this point. All right, look at that. Just shy of being completely full. We're not going to worry about the great demand. Let's see. Actually, I'll tell you what I want to do here. All right, let's get a new course loaded. And of course, the one I want loaded right now is going to be for field 12. But what I want to do, rather than getting him started on the field just yet, I actually want him to go and unload real quick. So let's see if I can get him to, yeah, there he goes. He pops on because, of course, our unload course comes right through here for him. So let's let him go ahead and unload that and then head back. And Meanwhile, let's catch up with our mower. Take a look inside this thing. Very nice. Now, I'm not sure how on earth you would line this up for exactly how far in either direction that you would need to be offset. But for sure, this thing has a huge, huge radius. You can see all the blades turning there. Got our speed, the number of hours in operation. We've got the RPM of the motor, cruise control, all sorts of things on here. All sorts of little knobs. Very nice. I mean, if you need to cut grass, this is definitely the way to do it. If you want to cut grass on a huge scale, this is it. So there you can see on the left-hand side that part of the mower is actually not cutting right now because of the way we did the course play working width. Now we see our loading wagon has joined us on the field, and he is up and running. So again, all he has to do is drive down the windroad sections instead of through the entire field. This is going to really kick everything into high gear for us. In fact, we might decide that we need to get another combination of a tractor and loading wagon just to help out. That's just how quick that this mower will be able to work for us and how much revenue we will be able to generate using this. All right, let's take another look at our map. Okay, 14 is ready. 15, it'll probably take a little bit of time since it just got done being sown. But otherwise, I am extremely happy with where things are. So I think we're going to leave it here for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we continue our gameplay series of Farming Simulator 17.